Well, taking it from a global view to zooming it back in now, the year's almost to an end. It's time for us to rethink our financial matters for 2017. Now, inflation is a scary thing, and we know that everything will become more and more expensive. But one of our biggest expenses can be medical aid, and today we're talking that topic.
So it's time once again for our weekly financial chat, and joining us once again is our certified financial planner, Grant van Zyl. And it's that time of the year when we're looking at making changes to our medical aids for the new year. And of course, every year prices are changing, and we need to know exactly what to do and how to make those best choices financially. Thank you very much for joining us, man. How are you doing?
Awesome. Always good to be back.
Excellent.
Love this place. Eh?
So let's firstly talk about medical inflation versus normal inflation. Exactly what are the differences between the two?
Okay, so without complicating things too much, normal inflation at the moment is sitting between 6 and 7%. Medical inflation, the rule of thumb regarding medical inflation is normally about 5% higher than normal inflation. So medical inflation is sitting between 11 and 12% at the moment. Yeah.
And just like inflation, medical inflation, I guess, refers in this context to the rate at which the prices of medical aids across the board increase over the year, right?
Well, actually, it goes a little bit deeper than that. Mm-hmm. The medical inflation revolves around service providers. It revolves around a whole bunch of different things, right, so that medical aids can then determine what prices they need to set from their fee perspective so that they can come up with their own inflation rate. Yeah. And so they very much correlate. They're very similar. Yeah.
Yeah. And you said medical inflation is 5% higher than normal inflation. Why is it so high?
So I think the big reason for that is the big element of research. I mean, a lot of these guys are doing research on the different conditions and medications. I mean, let's take HIV, for example. They've been doing research on that for years. They still haven't come up with a cure for that. So someone has to get paid for that, right? So there's big research around there. I think the major element to the inflation rate or medical inflation being quite high is once they do discover a solution, they patent those products.
Yes.
And once those products are patented, it's the control that we have from a bargaining position is very limited.
Yeah.
And then I also think there's an emotional attachment to it as well. I think if you are on a medication that's is serving you really well, and there's a 20% increase, and the chances of you having to move from that medication are very unlikely. So there's definitely those different elements, I think, that contribute to medical inflation being a lot higher than normal inflation.
Yeah. So what do you think, and what's your idea of what the average increase will be across, let's say, the top 10 medical aids for 2017?
Sure. I mean, it's a difficult one. I have looked at the top 10 biggest. I'm not saying these are the biggest, but the ones that have released their results, the top 10 that have released their result, their average is looking at about 11%. So kind of in line with medical inflation so far, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Well, I'm going to ask you to stay here with us for a couple of more minutes as we continue this chat about medical aids. Of course, it's that time of the year, as I said earlier on, when you're looking to make those financial changes to your medical packages to suit your pocket a little bit better in the next financial year.